And for more on the fight against the Islamic State and any potential coordination with Syria, I'm joined now by retired Army Colonel Douglas Macgregor. Colonel, thank you very much indeed for coming in.
Happy to be here.
The White House says that no decision has been taken yet on whether to strike against Islamic State inside Syria. But what are the US options militarily here?
Well, I think for the White House, this is particularly difficult. If you suddenly decide to align yourself with Mr. Assad in Syria, you are aligning yourself with Iran, as well as with Iran's satellite in southern Iraq, the Shiite Arab state there, and by definition, Russia, which is backing these two states as well, in a war with Sunni Islamists who are in turn backed by Saudi Arabia, Turkey, Qatar, and other interested Muslim states. So you're involving yourself in a conflict with people you said you were opposed to, against people you said that you were, at least in theory, friendly to.
But does it have any choice at the moment, bearing in mind that the interests do appear to be aligning, if America wants to take on and defeat Islamic State, as the White House seems to be indicating it does?
Well, I think there are people in the White House who indicate they want to do that. I don't necessarily believe that President Obama wants to do it. And we'll have to await the final decision. Washington is full of people on both sides of the aisle who are desperate to involve themselves in other people's wars. But the president has made it pretty clear over the last several years he doesn't want to do it. And if you look at the polls, anything beyond relatively modest airstrikes is not supported by the electorate.
But what should America then be doing? Bearing in mind the situation in Iraq is deteriorating, there have been more killings today, they are supporting the Peshmerga. What more should America be doing?
Well, I wouldn't do anything beyond what we've already done personally. Iraq has been in a state of deterioration for a very long time. It was deteriorating when we went into it in '91. It was deteriorating when we went into it in 2003, and I think we killed the state. So Iraq doesn't really exist anymore, and we need to come to terms with that reality. I'm not sure Syria exists. These old lines are largely meaningless. The people who live in the region are going to have to sort it out. And let's be frank, ISIS and ISIL represent a threat to the states and countries around them to some extent. I even think that the Turks and the Saudis are beginning to worry about this Frankenstein's monster they've created. But if that's the case, they need to deal with it. The largest and most powerful army in NATO is Turkish. The Turks have the military power to crush all of this in a few weeks.
But nevertheless, the president has made it very clear that the Islamic State is a cancer in the region. It threatens US interests. Very briefly, what's your reaction to that?
Well, I think he's talking about the region, yes, and he's limited his comments to the region. That's accurate. But it's not necessarily our fight. It's up to the people in the region to sort it out, and I think he feels that way too. So I don't expect some dramatic announcement pushing thousands of US forces into the region.
Well, we shall wait and see. Colonel Macgregor, thank you very much indeed for joining me.
Thank you.